Greetings, grade 12 learners. Today we will be doing tourism grade 12 as you are about to prepare for your examinations. So now, as a form of that, let us not waste any time and thus explain. But now this content will cover Unit 1 particularly. It will cover the a global event. It will cover the types of events, the advantages, and also the disadvantages of global events in particular. So now, the next slide focuses on what is global event. The reason why we need to know about what is global event is because most of the content, it focuses on what is a global event and it focuses on the types of global events. So in order for us to be able to identify the types of events, we need to be able to know what does a global event mean. So now, the question says, what is a global event? So now, a global event is a what? A global event is an organized event involving people from different countries around the world. So now, the word global, it is derived from the word globe. Now, as a form of that, in order for us to say we are experiencing a global event, we need people from different countries to partake in that particular event. That is when we will call it a global event. So now, as a form of that, we have different types of events. So now, under the category of the sports event, now we have the Olympic Games. So now, the Olympic Games, it is regarded as the largest sporting event in the world. And now, as much as it is regarded as a sporting event, now we also have what we call the FIFA. Now, the FIFA refers to the FIFA Soccer World Cup, and it is the second largest sporting event in the world. And now we also have Tour de France, which is thus regarded as the third largest event in the world and is held mainly in France. Hence, that is why it is named Tour de France. So now we also have the Wimbledon. Now, the Wimbledon is a prestigious annual international tennis championship played in London suburb of Wimbledon. So now we also have the Comrades Marathon. Now, as much as the matters are concerned with the Comrades Marathon, it is regarded as the world's largest ultra marathon, and it also takes place annually in May or June between Pietermaritzburg and Durban in KwaZulu-Natal. Now, as a form of that, now as you can see, now I've tried to depict the pictures that are relating to the global events. So now the Olympic Games relate to this one, right? And then FIFA World Cup, it relates to this cup here, which is always the kind of cup that is always lifted in terms of the FIFA World Cup, as seen with the 2010 in South Africa when South Africa hosted the FIFA World Cup, right? And you also have the Comrades Marathon. Here's a picture of the Comrades Marathon. We have the Tour de France. Here's the picture of the Tour de France. And you also have the Wimbledon. Now there it is, the picture of the Wimbledon. It is associated with the tennis and that kind of stuff. So now, aside from of that, now we also have the other events. Now they are also the global events, but now they fall under the category of being named the other events. So now, aside from of that, now here we have the types of global events, but then now they fall under the category of what? They fall under the category of sorry about that. They fall under the category of the other events. So now, firstly, we have what? Firstly, we have the G8 summit. Now, sorry about that. Firstly, we have what? Firstly, we have the G8 summit. So now, the G8 summit, now it's what? The G8 summit, which is this one, right? So now, the G8 summit, this forum is for the governance of 8 of the world's largest economies. Now, which is what? Which is France, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, Russia, Germany, Japan, Italy, and Canada. So now, A third form of that, however, it also includes two actual aid, which is China second and Brazil the seventh. And in recent years, as it has been shown in the studies, that plus five countries, Brazil, the People's of Republic of China, India, Mexico, and South Africa, have participated as guests in the G8 summit. So now, also the G8 summit, it is also part of the global events because it revolves or involves countries around the world. So now, aside from of that, we also have the summits on climate change. Now, the summit on climate change tried to find ways to cut down on global carbon emissions and pollution. So now, in 2000, the Southern African Economic Summit was held in Durban, in KwaZulu-Natal, and in 2011, the UN Climate Change Summit was also held in Durban. So now, in terms of the summits on climate change, it is also regarded as global event because now countries, they come and engage literally on the discussion on how to emit or cut down on global carbon emission and also pollution. So now we also have tourism indaba. So now tourism indaba, the word indaba is an isiZulu word which means a meeting of elders, right? So now, but it is used as a general term for meetings, exhibitions, and conferences. So now, the Tourism Indaba in South Africa's Tourism Showcase, it is the largest incoming travel exhibition in Africa and is held annually. So now, also the Tourism Indaba is one of the global events that also involves countries coming to South Africa, particularly in KwaZulu Natal, to partake in the tourism indaba. So now, as a form of that, as we further go now, the next slide. So now, the next slide focuses on the impact of global event on international tourism. So now, in terms of the positive impacts, these are the positive impact that global event has on on the international tourism. So now we have short-term economic benefit which include higher spending at hotels. Here's a picture depicting a hotel. So now when tourists come to South Africa, now they are what? They are spending money on what? On accommodation in hotels. It's a form of that, which means more money for the country, right? And also restaurants. Here's a picture depicting restaurants whereby now people, they will be spending money at that particular country as a form of the country hosting an event. And also shops. Now, shops will also be making money because people will be buying food, people will be buying clothes, people will be buying whatsoever thing that they need as a form of attending the event. As a form of that, it means what? It means more revenue for the hosting country. And also the creation of temporary jobs. So now, how does the temporary jobs how are they created? For an example, let's say during the 2010 FIFA World Cup, when South Africa hosted the the global event, right? What happened is that stadiums were being built. As a form of that is part of the temporary jobs that are being given to the people in particular. So now we also have longer economic benefits, increased international tourism, we have increased investment, and also the global recognition due to the media. So now when this particular thing, when this global event they are happening, what is happening is that media becomes the word of mouth. Aside from of that, they are the ones that deliver news to the other countries. And also, this becomes a positive impact because now it creates a positive impact on the long-term association people have with the host. So now there is what? There is business discussion. People get to meet with other countries. There is foreign exchange. There is positive word of mouth if the country becomes one of the greatest um hostees as a form of that. Now, also, we need to also look at the negative impacts. So now, the negative impact it is that now the negative impact of global event on the international tourism it is that now, firstly, it might take longer for the country to pay off the debt after hosting the event. So now, as we see here at the background here, there is a picture, but that is depicting debt. So now debt means now it is the money that the country will be owing after the event, which might take a long time for the country to pay it back. So now, facilities such as stadiums that are specially built for the event may not be suitable for domestic use after the event. For an example, as you can see, this is Gen Stadium in Soshanguve. The stadium was built for the purpose of the global event that was held in 2010 in South Africa. But then now the stadium is not finished, and after it is not suitable for domestic use after the event. So now also negative impact it is that now other facilities built to host the international tourists who attended the event may stand empty if the number of tourists decline after the event. Now, moreover, so now here we're looking at the 2010 FIFA World Cup. So now we're looking at the impact of hosting a global event on the host country. So now the legacy left behind after the event can improve the long-term well-being and lifestyle of citizens in the host country. This contributes enormously to nation building, as we saw in South Africa when we hosted the 2010 FIFA World Cup. So now here's a picture of Simphiwe Chabalala, and also here's the picture of the World Cup and the 2010 FIFA World Cup poster, and how people were happy when the global event was taking place. So now the thing that happened is that the impact of hosting a global event on the host country is that it leaves a legacy. For an example, even now, the legacy of the FIFA World Cup still remains in South Africa, even though the FIFA World Cup has passed, but then now still it becomes a topic because it left a legacy behind, right? And also, it improved the long-term well-being and the lifestyle of citizens of the host country, which is South Africa. Now, the impact on the economy of the host country. So now we're looking at what? We're looking at the positive side. So now we're looking at the impact on the economy of the host country. Now here we're focusing on the impacts. So now there is generation of foreign exchange income. Now this is we're talking about money, whereby now the people they come and they exchange what, and they exchange their money, and after they exchange their money, they come and use the rand as a form of that is the generation of foreign exchange. And we also get what? We get also the investment. So now people come and invest within our own country. As a form of that is a form of generating revenue. There is also the multiplier effect as money spent by a tourist circulates through the economy. So now, as much as people they are coming within South Africa, now what will happen is that people will spend money in hotels, people will spend money in retails, people will spend money in banks, people will spend money each and every facet within the country. People will be spending money. That is the generation of the multiplier effect, because now the money spent by the tourists will be what will be circulating within the economy. Now, as a form of that, there is also development of infrastructure in the host country. Now, as the picture here depicts, there is what? There is development, like for an example, there might be the creation of stadiums, there might be the creation of facilities that are related to the global event. But also, there is also job creation, and as the picture here depicts, the job creation, and also future growth in international tourism. But now, more particularly, jobs are created because of the fact that, remember, at this particular time, facilities need to be built for the event. As a form of that, that is how there is job creation. The last slide. Now, the last slide focuses on what? The last slide focuses on the impact on the economy of the host country. Now, here we're looking at the what? We're looking at the negative aspect. So now, the facilities built for the event may not be suitable for domestic use after the event. Now, also during the event, domestic tourism in the host country normally slows down. Now, there is also pollution in areas and around places used during the event, as it is depicted by here. As you can see now, there is what? There is pollution. Now, there is what? There is possibility security risk. Now, also, it might take a long time for the country to pay off this debt. And also, construction workers involved in the building roads and other facilities in preparation for the event could lose their jobs once the construction work is completed. As you can see